Hey guys, welcome to another audio commentary done by Diggity, and this is going to be the second set on Katrina, and I think it's really important that mine gets a win here. He's starting at the 9 o'clock position in yellow, 6 o'clock position we have Jaedong in teal. Typically this has been a really bad map for mine, and I remember hearing it on GSI, Tasteless was saying, I think he was actually handed this information, they were saying that mine isn't very good with medic marine combinations, he doesn't micro them as well, and I'm not sure that that's the case. I don't think it's his micromanagement that's really the issue. I feel like he's really uncomfortable mid-game, doing mid-game pushes long-term versus Zerg players. Usually he'll win it late game or he'll win it early game like we saw in set 1, but it almost seems like he's totally uncomfortable, maybe because of the Zerg harass, I'm not sure what it is, but when there's that mid-game opportunity to push up on that sunken barrier, he just doesn't do very well in that situation. That's where he tends to lose games, in my opinion. And Katrina, I think that's why it's not a very strong map for Katrina, for Mind, I should say, is because there's kind of that point where you've got to push into the Zerg to force him to build the sunken colonies, and at that point, he usually tends to kind of waver back. I think maybe it's because of the Mutalisk harass, just because there's so much room for Mutalisk to harass on this map. It's just a really, I mean, you can see you've got that secondary, you've got that main. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, I'm just not sure what it is, but he just seems in that mid-game push not to have a lot of success here. But he needs to win this, because on Blue Storm, man, Jaedong versus Flash, it's a good thing that Jaedong didn't actually, I'm not sure what the issue, actually, let me regather my thoughts here. I've never seen a player get so dominated as I saw Jaedong dominate Flash on Blue Storm. What match was that? That was in the MSL, last set. And man, it was a thrashing. I have no other way to say it. I could not see a possible way for Jaedong to win that. Against Savior, he ended up getting the Science Vessels out and just irradiate and somehow pulled out of it. But man, 12th hatch again we're seeing from Jaedong. A little bit safer on Katrina, obviously. Mine not going for the... It doesn't look like he's going for 2 barracks. He'll probably take his secondary fairly quickly, getting gas down. Actually getting his gas down rather early, so maybe he's thinking about doing that mech build. He's definitely kind of indicating like he's doing more of a mech build, and maybe this is playing a... I take it back, so maybe the Korean information that Tasteless got a little bit more accurate. Because it looks like mine, maybe it's because also that push, but yeah, he's harvesting a lot of gas really early, and that really indicates to me that he's thinking more about mechanized build. Looks like Jaedong going for a 3-hatch build, and that's also been very successful on Katrina, simply because there's not a lot of scouting that you can, basically by the time they scout it, there's not a lot they can do about it, and you can again, it's easy to defend that choke, and it looks like he's putting it right next to that gas. He might think about mining out of that corner, now getting that spawning pool down. So you can get your economy up a lot faster, you can be a lot more aggressive, and he'll probably go into Mutalisk grass. But against that mech, we'll see if this works out for mine. My guess is, yeah, he's just really kind of indicating as though he's doing he's producing that single marine just in case he's facing some sort of 9-pool attack here. Probably going to grab a secondary here in a moment, and then produce a factory. We'll see. And that's surprising. That has been successful for a lot of Terran players. I think we saw it first from Shutter versus GE Play. We've seen other players copy it. Yeah, he is in fact building a factory. This time building a proxy factory out in the field. Interesting maneuver by Mine. So Mine getting really creative here, and holding that Overlord back with that single marine. Doesn't want Jaedong pushing in. Jaedong doesn't want to lose it again. As you can see, still thinking about game 1. And this is very clever. He needs to make sure that it doesn't get spotted out. But yeah, going for more a mechanized build, probably going to produce vultures and mines. And if you get those vultures and mines down rather rapidly, once again, really reading Jaedong's mind, knowing that Jaedong prefers a 3-hatch build here, and if he can get a set of vultures out very quickly, if he gets the second factory down, gets, I don't know, 4 vultures in there along with mines. Actually, looks like he's going to go for a full 4 vulture drop and go into the secondary here. So yeah, getting that starport down very quickly. And just going to get probably a dropship and drop just 4 vultures in the back of Jaedong's base, and that could be absolutely devastating as well. Looks like a sunken colony is going down at the front door. A single vulture being produced. Looks like it's just going to hang out and wait. Maybe it'll press down to the front and just spot to Jaedong, forcing Jaedong to put down the sunken colonies, but it's not going to make a difference. Now the question is will Jaedong spot this out? Will we get the Overlord in the back of the base? It's going to be absolutely vital. And will this factory get spotted out? Looks like those Zerglings starting to push out. Oh, almost spotted that vulture. I don't think it did though. That's looks like that SAV pushing through, getting killed very quickly. Second vulture being produced, and really for this to be all that much effective, he still needs to hide it. It doesn't look like it looks almost like he's going for a vulture wraith combination, floating back, seeing if that secondary is pushed up. So maybe he's not in fact going for a drop, maybe going for some sort of vulture wraith build, which would be a really odd combination in my opinion. But it looks like there is. Oh man, I wish they had in that blockade so I can see Lair going up in the backfield for Jaedong, and that's unfortunately because if there is a drop in fact coming, that's exactly where he wants to put it. If those vultures are speed upgraded, they'll be able to slide right by that sunken colony. It looks like they are going to be able to slide right by that sunken colony without getting damage. Now you can see those drones trying to go back and try to create a blockade against those vultures, but able to go through. And now it's completely breached. He doesn't have a lot of zerglings, doesn't have really anything to fend this off. He's got that Hydralisk den pushed up, and he's going to have to produce some Hydralisk very quickly here. If Mine's upgraded in the meantime for a Mine, he's going to be able to plant them around. He's trying to, but Mine in the meantime going to be able to do a lot of economic damage here if he micromanages these vultures fairly well. So opting again for mechanized infantry on Katrina, because again it hasn't worked. Just standard infantry hasn't worked for him on this map. And now a Wraith pushing up. It is in fact a Wraith. It's going to, oh wow. Fortunately Hydralisks are being produced, so this Wraith isn't going to be as effective as it would be otherwise. But that is going to do a little bit of basically the double harass with the vultures plus that Wraith is going to be. He will be able to do a little bit of harassment on the supply here. This is an extremely creative build from Mine. We'll see if it works out for him. He's only got that single Wraith attacking him in the meantime. We'll see, or that single Hydralisk. We'll see if he. Oh, got to say an Overlord down. So doing an excellent economy hit, and he's in a very strong position now. Now taking his secondary. He's done a decent amount of economic damage. He's halted Jaedong to a good degree. And Jaedong's, I don't know if he spotted it out, but he's gone Hydralisk, and I don't feel like Hydralisk are as effective on this map. They are a little bit. They're definitely more effective against a Vulture Wraith combination, but Mine in a very good position to go tank at this point, which obviously does very well. Looks like no, he's going to try to get a Spire down, probably opt for that, bringing that factory more to the front. Now he's opening up his front door. He's got five Marines produced, and now he's switching into a Medic Marine build. So Medic Marine doesn't look like he's opting for Wraith, so just going to switch immediately now that he can get it, just kind of waiting to get that secondary down. So basically what Mind has done is he realizes his own weakness. I love Mind. He realizes his own weakness. He realizes I haven't had much success in that mid-game push section. I haven't been able to get the economic harass down. I can't get out of my base and deal with the Mutilas. I just have a hard time with that. So why don't I do something that's essentially effectively the same thing, and then switch into the normal build from there, and then I can secure my third base, and I'll basically have more tools at my disposal to not worry about it. As you can see, that Overlord being kind of hidden in that back corner, Overlord's being gathered up in the background. We'll see if Jaedong at this point continues to dedicate with the Hydralisk, or if he decides to go into more of a Mutalisk harass. I think he would have been more successful with Mutalisk harass, and still effective considering the Wraiths out there. Although of course he'd have to wait for the speed upgraded Overlords along the side. But still, and now that Wraith going to be able to sneak back, and he's really putting pressure on Jaedong here to keep those Hydralisks all around. Looks like he's going to catch another Overlord here while those Hydralisks are out of position. So Mind looking very strong here against Jaedong. Jaedong not playing up to his usual par, and maybe it's because Mind, I don't know, I feel like Mind's kind of outthinking him a little bit there, and a Medic Marine group being produced in the meantime. We'll see if it looks like he's getting right into Science Vessels. He's going to be able to create these Science Vessels extremely rapidly, and yeah, Jaedong, I feel like he's a little bit behind. He's got the Scourge out, trying to scout around the map, but I really feel like Mind's in a very good position here. A couple Zerglings coming off the front, looks like they're speed upgraded, but really that Hydralisk combination, I'm now opening up his front door, so he realizes, I think he's going to start pushing here in just a second. He doesn't want Mind getting a third base, because that would be absolutely devastating, and it looks like Mind, yeah, now setting up with a Medic Marine grouping. He's, yeah, it looks like Mind actually going to, or I'm sorry, Jaedong going to try to expand himself now. Engineering bay up, and we'll see if weapons, that is the one thing that's kind of interesting about this build, is you're a little bit behind as far as upgrades, so it doesn't look like it's going to affect him all that much. Maybe if he's getting armor one, he'll have a little better time against the lurkers. He needs to get that armor one up somewhat rapidly again, because he's going to be dealing with that lurker force. Now those two, as you can see, that evolution in the Queen's Chamber going down, or Queen's Nest going down, so Jaedong thinking about very rapidly going into late game tech, but it looks like Mind has spotted that. I'm surprised he's doing this. He's only doing this out of 2 bases, and again, you really need that third base. And he's scouting out again, trying to hunt the Overlord. Jaedong got lucky that the Overlord wasn't there, and Mind in the meantime isn't scouting out this large lurker grouping. He doesn't look like he has a Medic Marine. This is the problem. He tends to stim a little bit too often. Looks like that Scourge did manage to take out that Wraith in the meantime. He's gonna have to back up, almost getting his units caught out of position, trying to get a bunker down, because this looks like it's a large enough force to deal with this Medic Marine force, and it looks like Mind in a bit of trouble here. I'm talking a little bit too much. He needs to get those Marines into the bunker. The Zerglings surrounding the bunker. He just got in the bunker, but it's not going to be enough. The Lurker's pushing through. Oh my goodness, Lurker's going down now on the supply line. That tank being produced a little bit too late though. So Jaedong brilliantly producing a lot of units. Mind not keeping up with his unit production to really deal, and that's just so hard in that transition. So I guess I was talking up a little bit too much there, because Mind in that unit transition, it's just a little too hard to switch back into Medic Marine and kind of stop this off. So it looks like Jaedong, first of all, disrupting a lot of the stuff at the main here, and I'm not sure that Mind is going to be able to fight this off. He's losing 2 supply depots right there. Also losing production of main, going to lose a lot of stuff here, and so Jaedong actually in firm control right now, and Mind's going to have to GG. So interestingly creative, but didn't end up paying off in the end. And phew, that was a really botched commentary on my part. I'm like, oh, how genius Mind is, and then Jaedong just comes right back and rips it apart. So ignore me. total noob. Oh well. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for listening. I thought that was creative, and I thought it would work out, but Jaedong finding the exact right moment to push in. And really, even if that attack hadn't worked, I think he could have slowed mine down long enough to get that third expansion up and go Ultralisks eventually. Anyway, despite the poor commentary in that turn, despite, I guess, going for the early call as far as factory, whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that nevertheless, and we're going to go on to Game 3, and a lot of pressure on mine now, because again, Blue Storm's still in the mix. I think it's the next game, and honestly, I don't know how mine is going to be Jaedong and Blue Storm. I'll talk about that next game, of course. Thanks for listening, guys. Sorry about that. Hope you guys enjoyed it.